Alright, for once, I actually got bored enough to want to do this. So, without no further ado, and without the cat freaking meowing, let's do this. Light of the 0 point energy. Oh god. After following Vera, embracing several laboratories with force, we have finally arrived at the innermost area of the city. This place is designed to be tightly sealed. Some of the gates, however, have fallen into despair, and water has poured inside. But the water disappears again after you cross the last enclosed defense line. The silhouette of the 0 point reactor emerged from the dark like a seamount forged with metal. Seriously, what is up with these metaphors? The two of you walk along the chasm between the mountains. Way above you in the dark is an all-encompassing ghostly blue light. Okay, we get it. It's the freaking ocean. You can tell us, and we are loud. Separating the reactor from the force of the water is a layer of thick, transparent tempered glass. The glass wall is so clear that... Why do I care about that? I'll read it. It almost looks like nothing is there. Staring at it for too long, you would think that the water itself has formed the wall unmoving. The large, indescribable piece of the reactor looks nothing like the cutting-edge technology they are. Instead, they look like an ancient ruin. A tomb is as lofty as a sleeping... Why the fuck? I'd rather just say tomb and just deal with that. Inside the tomb buries a glorious but cold dream of the golden age. Inside it buries a time that... Okay, that's enough. Why do you think they built this thing underwater? I don't know. Big cooler? You cannot answer her. Bro, I just gave you the answer. Plato's Atlantis ends up sinking in the ocean, but later some suggested that perhaps Atlantis had never broken the surface of the sea. Perhaps it is the same for this reactor. Maybe his architects back then had expected the reactor to fail from the beginning. If the reactor goes out of control, the vast Atlantic Ocean will devour the base completely. And that's all I'm gonna read. How ironic. If they were prepared for failure, why didn't they just stop? We got to this point because they were trying to control a power that wasn't theirs. The two of you keep going forward. The blue hue of the water casts the reactor in the shade of a glacier. Walking here feels like trekking through the depths of the Antarctic. Setting foot on the most barren no man's land. Suddenly, Vera holds up a hand and you stop. Something flashed before you. Oh great, what is it? Frick! Hidden in the dark this whole time, the culprit who sank the city has finally revealed herself. Vera and you both recognize her at the same time. You know her. That's the Ascendant with the rolling guy. She takes her battle stance. Lamia stands at the center of the reactor alone, her expression is strange and adrift, not even hearing Vera or your footsteps approaching. She only reacts when Vera's spear is about to hit her. Ew! Stay away! She stumbles back. You have fought her before, which is why you are certain of one thing. Lamia is not quite herself right now. So the Ascendant are also looking for information on the 0 point reactor? Lamia does not deny it, but maybe she does not even hear it. Dang, something just bit me in the face. Vera takes Lamia's silence as confirmation and charges forward with her spear. Lamia cannot dodge fast enough, and spear cuts all the strand of her hair. She looks at Vera, startled and angry, like a wounded dog whose territory is violated. Get out of here! Stay away! Stay away! At first, Lamia looks like she is going to strike back, but then her eyes are flooded with despair. Eventually, all that is left in her eyes is hatred that borders on madness. You have no idea why her emotions are changing so rapidly in mere seconds. Sink, just sink. Let them all sink to the bottom of the ocean with me. What are you doing? She steps back and the air around her distorts. You are familiar with that sight. She's trying to turn invisible and run. She's going to escape. Vera hisses before throwing the spear in her hand like a javelin towards where Lamia is standing. It flies straight towards Lamia's face. But the spearhead only pierced Lamia's projection. It goes right through it and buries deep into the wall behind. She has still escaped right beneath her nose. Frick this woman! It is quiet again. Vera frowns, pulling her banner spear out of the wall. What's going on here? I'm gonna send it find out about this place. Didn't the president say the coordinates of this location is secret? How come even a small fish like her can find it? The troll panel. Fine. We'll let her off the hook for now. Vera new rush towards the control panel in the center. Is it too late to read the menu? Got this, I guess. The central control panel is not as complicated as you imagine. Operation systems like this are built in a similar vein. The thing you learned from Lee in your spare time have finally come in handy. But what's the but? Biodata identification has failed. You cannot operate it. Connection error that appears on the screen afterwards completely shatter any hope you have got. The number indicates how much the city has sunk. This keeps rising, while all options are left behind the command to continue submergence. Not an unexpected ending. Damn it! How did the goddamn fish manage to operate the central control system? Whoa! Right as she said that, another screen appears on the monitor. It's recorded footage of a meeting. Start reporting. You first. Not much to say. All radio communications have been unresponsive. But our equipment is fine, which means the relay and the receiving end. What's wrong with the relay? Neither the satellite nor the server on the mainland has responded, suggesting that all surface and orbital communication networks have failed. What's the worst case scenario? All human civilization outside of the base has been annihilated. How about a last bad one? All 240 satellites in the skies and every server in Asia, Europe, North America failed at the same time. We're too busy fixing them to answer our call. Lazarus does not laugh. What is the possibility of this scenario? The communication director does not laugh either. Less than 10 to power... wait, what? Less than 10 to power of negative 17. I checked it before the meeting twice. Understood. It means we should proceed on the basis that human civilization has ended. She consciously concludes before looking at the administrative director. How's the situation inside the base? Internal communication between the departments are stable. All personnel remain at their posts. The base is still in order. Equipment. Self-diagnosis is functional. We haven't received any reports of mechanical failure. How are our supplies looking? Most of us look at the logistic director, who sits the furthest away from her. Assuming our supply came from the mainland and cut off,
You can survive for a maximum of 15 months.
How'd you get that number?
I calculated the minimum calories of all staffs needed based on their weight. Then divide total calories of food we got in the base by that number.
Looks like somebody's going on a diet.
And just an estimate figure. Give me some time and I'll calculate a more accurate answer.
If we are to recreate the environment for the exploded first reactor, we need at least 21 months to figure out what happened there. Lustrous gets lost in thought, but only for mere seconds. How long would our supplies last if we reduce the personnel from the base?
Dang! I said lose weight, not lose people. She looks up and asks the logistics director. The director paused for a moment before answering. If we stop supplying to others and move all resources to the research department, we can last 23 months. Long enough for you to complete your research.
If I may, please.
I don't recommend doing so.
Your reason?
Want to revolt?
Program machines will break down. People will get sick from the lack of nutrients. This will all slow down your progress. Not to mention that the communication department has been trying to contact any possible survivors or groups. If we can receive support from the outside world, our immediate crisis will be resolved. To safeguard your research, you should prioritize the different departments and cut off supplies to the least important ones first.
I agree. She nods.
Now let's sort them. We'll cut off supplies to the administrative department first, then logistics. After that, medical, communication, robotic data, and research. She points at the director around the table according to the order, and at last she points at herself. Objections? The silence in the conference room lasts for a few seconds.
At least make medical second to last.
The administrative director began to pack up folders on the table. It's decided then. I'll notify my people. The recording of the meeting is over. The screen flickers and you see Luster's figure when the image becomes clear again. To whoever sees this record in the future, my name is Luster, the research director. This recording is set to public. Anyone who tries to access the central command system will activate this video. It plays automatically just in case someone fails to notice it. I put our first and final group meeting at the beginning of this video. I assume any human with common sense will understand what has happened to our base after watching it. Presuming that you are an intelligent life such as a human, please allow me to skip to the main point. I'm not sure what the exact time is now. The base has been in lockdown since the outbreak. We've given up on Greenwich Main Time. Greenwich Main Time? What the frick is that? Whatever. Instead, offer the base timer as the time standard and our records.
Should have just stuck to military time, but okay.
So I might be wrong about the month and day, but I think the year should still be accurate. This is the third year since the outbreak of the punishing virus. We have ran out of food. No one's come to save us. The most logical conclusion is that the human race beyond this base is extinct. I'm not good at recording history, but if you're here and you found this, then you must be a seeker who is curious. You're like me. I feel obligated to satisfy your curiosity.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pause it for a minute. Alright, now where was I?
Let me briefly describe what happened after that meeting. We started rationing the amount we initiated.
We started rationing the moment we initiated the lockdown. The plan went well and it allowed us to last for a very long time with very limited resources.
When food began to run short, we came to an unspoken agreement. The core researchers were prioritized with provision, while the others were arranged in order of their importance, the least of which will die first.
Dang!
The first one to go was the administrative department. We didn't have any higher-ups to report to anymore after all. The asylum wasn't designed for our situation, so it doesn't have any courts to dispose of the facilities. We decided to administrate burial at sea to avoid the growth of germs and bacteria from the accumulated bodies. Logistics was next. After that, I had to spend an extra 25 minutes each day traveling between the office and storage to pick up the canned food and hard tax. Damn it! I had to learn how to organize files and do other trivial stuff. It was the medical department afterward. They left behind detailed medical guides before they died. Those who remained were all very grateful for their generosity. They were followed by the communication department. They had been diligent in their role, trying to establish contact with the outside world, but didn't work. Her voice gets colder and colder, as if she is just a machine with a warm human body. Robotics. Without those machines and engineers, I can only hope that nothing major broke before our research saw some results. Data. Similarly, without programmers, I can only pray that the server and data bank wouldn't fail. Research. It was our last and most essential department, the one under my lead. We made a list, and the one on top would die first. Since I was the key personnel here, they put me at the bottom. Right. I also placed the non-staff members, such as children, in the middle. Given that they consume less food and energy, the factory and ethical concerns, I didn't place some in the first group to go. Some of our colleagues had values that would have clashed quite strongly with the alternative that could possibly stall our progress. This is the first time I've done this kind of visual documentation. I never had to bother with this kind of trifling work in the past.
I wonder if they would have just... No, wait, that kind of technology didn't exist yet. Never mind.
That's about it regarding the base after the outbreak. If the data department server room is still intact, you will find our activity logs for the past 3 years there. Now, I'm moving on to what have been achieved. Zero-point reactors are highly classified, but if you are watching this right now, then you must already know that there is one such reactor in this facility. After the lockdown, we tried to recreate the first reactor failure in order to figure out how the punishing virus first appeared. Long story short, we failed. Repeat some of the steps from the last log of that reactor and managed to create a similar environment where the punishing virus didn't show up. Correction. Not that it didn't show up, it appeared, and it was unobservable. I don't know who is watching this right now, and whether or not you have any knowledge regarding it, so I'll try my best to put it in layman's term. Reports from around the world in the first reactor told us that the physical effects would be when the punishing virus appeared. We didn't observe the virus directly, but our equipment detected this phenomenon. They disappear soon after they manifest, like raindrops. We couldn't see the virus, only the ripples it caused once it hit the water. In other words, some kind of energy absorbed them. If my department and I had another 2 years worth of food, we might be able to figure out why it happened. All my staff are dead now, and I just finished my last hard trip. We got as far as we could. I couldn't catch the raindrop, but I found the water that absorbed the punching virus. It will take me way too long to explain the details, but I call that technology the Omega Files. I put it in my pocket. I'll be heading for the observatory at the highest point of the city after this recording. I don't have samples and equipment to repeat our experiment, so I can't guarantee that a megafile would work outside this space.
Well, one way to find out, I guess. The core machine shows a hint of warmth for a second, with sadness buried beneath.
Regardless, seekers. You have traveled this far. This is your reward. I think we completed our part remarkably. I hope you will complete yours too. Now, seek our legacy.
Usher is less out a sigh. Got my mouth to dry. There we go.
Right. I wasn't planning to follow in this record. Sentimental words always affect a person's rational judgment. But I think I should give all of us one last opportunity to be capricious. After that meeting, there were some among us who questioned if we had done the right thing. While others were resolute in their answers, they believed we made the correct choice. To be fair, the virus that destroyed the world was born from the first Zero reactor. That did make many of us doubt the decision to continue our research, but we still decided to carry out our duties till the very end. We did not regret anything. We did what was right. We would have chosen the same even if we could do it again. I think our colleagues in the first reactor will feel the same.
She closed her eyes.
The only thing I regret is that this is as far as we can go. I hope any human that sees this remembers one thing. Don't forget your desire to reach the stars. Don't lose your hunger to trek forward. Don't lose the courage to go further just because we're being plundered. Seize it, conquer it, fall and stand again. Keep going. I believe humanity will have a bright future. I'm putting everything we have in your hands. Now, I'm going to see my colleagues. Goodbye.
Dang, that was actually kind of emotional. I'm sorry, I ruined the moment. At the same time, I don't really like sad, touchy moments, so I gotta crack a joke once in a while. Is it gonna hit the 15 mark again? I gotta hurry this up. I don't want to use Dark Team. Dark Team bad. I need to level them up. Let's see here. If I take too long, the darn thing will go off again, so fire.
安心して僕に任せれば大丈夫です。あなたたちは
No more thinking. What the frick happened?
The recording is over. All the questions you have on the way here has been answered. There was no evacuation, no body. Everyone stayed until the last possible moment. This brain above the Atlantic Ocean did not stop thinking until the end. Except all the fuel was consumed, but barely any center remained. But the last spark is safely kept at the top of this lighthouse. Vera steps back. This is insane. Despite her murmurs, she grins like a mad woman. These people were out of their minds like me.
Absolutely unhinged. Vera?
You are right. They didn't take what they went through as a lesson. They could have a second chance and nothing would change. They only treated it as a failed experiment. Experiment, fail, experiment again, fail again. This was but their daily lives. Vera wipes away the tears at the corner of her eyes. She suddenly remembers why she was recruited by Nicola in the first place. Kill, survive, kill again, and survive again. That was the whole of her existence. She was always the one who remains carrying everyone's pain. She could tell What could possibly await her at the finish line of this endless cycle? So that man showed up and offered her a way out. He told her it would be a path filled with obstacles and pain. But he promised there would be a light at the end of the road. I see. Farah closed her eyes and muttered a few words that only she could hear. And she turns to look at you. Do you remember what I asked you?
About the torch?
Yeah? I want to put it out. I wouldn't. Because I want to find out what is there at the end of the darkness. I want to find the person who planted the detonation cord and kicked their asses. Don't lose the courage to go further just because we are being plundered. Seize it, conquer it, fall, and stand again. Keep going. They were just like them. So are the president and the others. That's why we're standing here. The story of humanity is the story of the fight against fear and the unknown. At first, humans were afraid of beasts. Then they feared fire, and the gods after that. But they have driven away the beasts, harnessed the flame, and discovered secrets withheld by God with science. Everyone is afraid of punishment and death, but no one has ever stopped because of them. If they have, humans would have believed the earth to be the center of the universe. They would have thought fire and lightning were the gods' wrath, and they would have hidden in the trees from the predators. Newton said humans were... Okay, why would I give a craggy about this? That appears in the most primal kind of courage. The greatest gift our 2 million-year-old worth of evolution has given us. There lies the mountain, thus our will to climb. It triumphs over our fear of falling.
Oh God, I'm falling asleep.
We would choose the same even if we could do it all over again. You're out of your mind too, you know.
Takes one to know one. Finally I get to say that to her.
A sudden crack interrupts your conversation.
Oh crap.
You look toward the sound and find the glass wall breaking, but the crack has yet to go through.
The water pressure's too high.
We have to find a way to stop it. Central control system. Of course I know you can't access it. This goddamn fish can. Even if we don't know why. We just grab her and take her here, and we force her to. If the Ascensions are also after the information on the 0-point energy, then there's only one place she'll be heading.
To the top.
Top of the tower.
The two of you almost say it at the same time. Gotta stop again, because right now I hit the 14 mark.
The floor below you keeps shaking. As water pours into the lower level of Atlantis, the breeze below your blowing from your back also gets stronger. Like the last, that's enough.
Look down from the edge of the street, and there is but darkness and trembling. Oh God, that's the water.
The alarm goes off. Not for the breaching water, but for you, the invaders. Damn it! What quarrel does this place have with us? Why can't that ascended travel uninterrupted? Why does the city accept her identification? One at a time. I know! Once, twice, a third time. The sound of Vera's spirit hitting the metal echoes every time. Long and petrifying. They travel downward, intensified by the empty expanse between the walls and the water, making it more haunting. Annoyingly, every time you breach a door, you find more alarms, sealed entrance gates, and checkpoints waiting for you. The machines that the city does not falter.
despite its administrators gone. What the frick did I just read? The machines that is this city does not falter, despite its administrators gone. Oh. Except it considers Lamia as an ally in YouTube. Water follows you closely from behind. Every time you put some distance between you, you find the road stopping before you. By the time you open a passage, the water once again closes in. The correct Lamia has brought here are amassing. They were only wandering outside in the beginning, but now they have followed the water and blocked your way to the top. Get the flip out of my way. I hate when this happens. I'm getting exhausted from reading. That's why I kept skipping lines.
シミュレーション完了。指揮官、我々が勝者です。
Get out of my way!
もう逃げ場はありませんよ。あなたたちの時間は僕が制する。
私も行けます。
Right move!
これで終わりです。
Oh. Are there like any secrets here? Is that investment in my area? Hey, what? Is this some sort of secret or something? Oh, Kraken's one there too? Yeah.
時の果てで滅びよ。あなたたちの時間は僕が制する。もう逃げ場はありませんよ。気を抜くのはまだ早すぎます、指揮官。
Can't stand that. I'm gonna put this down. Having removed all the obstacles in your way, you have discovered Lamia tracks on the way to the observatory. Long and deep scratches grace the metal walls, marks that can only be made by her twin blades. God. I would have said I made her a Triton user. She would have been a cool twin blade user. She's indeed after the data of the 0-point reactor. Is she? You cannot help but ask yourself this. Is that no one can answer you? Only one way to find out. Let's keep on pushing, I guess. One more. After that first and last meeting, I thought there would be more options. Let me try getting off my freaking ass here. There we go. Lustrous looks slightly surprised. The administrative director closed the metallic clasp of the suitcase and smiles at the research director. My hands would be by your neck if I was still the same person from when I first came here. Remember the first night you became the director? I dragged you out from your lab and hosted a dinner with the other directors. I asked you what you think of the base when we were eating. You said this place is like a brain constantly metabolizing. I did say that. It was a good metaphor. Doesn't matter what carbon dioxide and the sodium think when they're created from metabolism. Lustrous does not hesitate. Not at all. The only thing that matters is a thought.
That's why the nutrients go to your part of the brain. Do what you have to do.
The administrative director nods at the others around the table. Don't worry, we'll do our jobs.
Lazarus looks at the director one by one. She lets out a barely visible smile. I'm glad to have you as my colleagues. It's an honor working with them.
Yeah, what the frick is open my lips these days?
The honor is mine. I look forward to Atlantis leading the next industrial revolution. But if I won't live long enough for that day to come, I'll die where I sit.
She stands.
I'll go first. Try to stay away as long as you can. We're sorry that you have to be the ones who carry it all at the end.
Lester stands in front of the window of the observatory, looking out at the lightlessly born city. The more one thing has shown. Wait, what? The more forsaken it looks when it falls.
Too long has passed. Everyone should know his past. Now, standing here alone, she looks like a wavering torch in a storm. And this last torch is about to go out. The weather is not great today. Dark clouds cover the sky, but the rain has yet to fall. Literal silver lining are peeking from up between the clouds. She closed her eyes, trying to feel the warmth on her cheeks.
Dang.
So in the end, I still have this spark of weakness in me. No brain, I despise you sometimes.
Lester sighed softly. She has never shown any weakness in front of others because she was their flag.
A flag is a symbol and a metaphor. A flag does not need to show humanity or have a heart. A flag just needs to be hung before an army during wars and planted on the enemy's castle after victory. As long as the flag does not fall, everyone else will charge towards the same destination. As long as it stands, everyone will march forward furiously for their dreams and beliefs. But now, everyone she was leading is gone. They have burnt their dignity and soul into cinders for their last act for humanity. And so, the flag becomes human again. Try to stay away as long as I can. I'm afraid I can't keep that promise. The observatory used to be where they like to stay the most. It sits at the top of Atlantis, and they can see the whole city from here. They can see the ocean, the sky, the stars. The observatory is empty now. She's the only one left, trying to see humanity's future. Lazarus walks to her chair and sits down. She has done her job. This is as far as she goes. She's tired. She will leave the rest of the work to those who come after. Lazarus turns around and takes one last look at the setting sun. Just one regret, she thinks. The day she set foot on this island, she thought she would go to the edge of the universe one day. Who would have thought that, in the end, they'd go gentle into the night. Her last whisper is carried away by the wind, disappearing with the last hint of sunlight. The moment you open the door to the observatory, you feel like you have just pressed the play button on a snapshot of the past. As the sea breeze rushes in, the room begins to fog up. The woman has you have seen in the video is sitting quietly in the chair, not far from you. Her body does not look rotten. It has dried thoroughly under the same clothes you have seen, and the record is easily identifiable. A heavy sense of sadness suddenly brews and fills the room. Silently, Vera walks towards the woman and kneels down on one knee. God damn it. And then she discovers something. The supply crate next to the body is filled with food. Vera's eyes widen. For a moment, she can even picture the woman's last moment from what had been left behind in the room. Unlike the others, Lazarus was not starved to death. She chose to end her life. Realizing that, Vera laughs hysterically, as if to cover another feeling deep inside. This is as far as she goes? Then what the hell is this? You tricky bastard! In the end, you couldn't take it. Well then, I'll seize it from you. Vera opens a pack of hardtack and stuffs them into her mouth, causing her to need to eat. What she is doing is technically pointless, but Vera just starts stuffing the hardtack into her mouth one after another, like a ritual where she is taking out the baton. A flag being passed from Musters to Vera. You can't take it. I will. I will take your dream, your future, your desire to live, your lost pain. I'll take it all. She stands up, reaches inside Luster's coat, and takes out their legacy. She gives it to you. I'll keep it safe. Fear not. Stay here. I'm going spearfishing. Who knows how many things there are? Who knows how many things here are of us? I don't want Nicola nagging me for not trying to stop me from sinking.
With that, she walks away resolutely. It's time for the worst fight known to man. Across the waves. Let me just move that out of the way. Now this is where I'm going to have skill issues, so don't laugh at me too much.
The skies open up. A rain pours down as if water from the whole world is converging here. Vera jumps onto the roof and finds the humanoid hybrid ascendant standing not far away. Lamia lifts her head silently, looking at the sky, letting the rain hit her face. Despite not expecting her to listen, Vera still raises the banner spear in her hand and points it at Lamia, threatening her loudly. I should just double threateningly. Hey, fish girl! I don't know what's your deal with this city, but you better disable the submergence command right this second, or this spear goes right through your head. You hear me?
The mermaid ascended, turns her head towards Vera slowly. A strand of hair, wet from the rain, falls to the side with her movement, revealing her hollow-looking gaze. Vera is stunned. Vera knows that gaze intimately. The look of total desperation was once in her eyes as well. On that rainy day, after all her companions died, she also stood there, looking at the rainy sky. Then the rain hit her, hiding her tears in the rain. I'm not going to give it to anyone. Lamia draws her twin blade. The edge of the curved blade, looking like an arc of comets flying. Okay, we're doing it right now. This is mine. Stop buttering this place. Sink! Good grief. Lamia cries sorrowfully and charges at Vera with her blade held high. And now it's time to fight. Hey, it changed my screen. I hate this fight. I hate this fight. I hate this fight so freaking much. I don't remember doing this with Vera.
すべてもっと来てよ。
I'm not even back here.
私の邪魔をするなんてずいぶんいい。すべてを粉々に潰すのは最高だわ。あがいてみせてゴミくず。私がいる場所が戦場よ。
Alright, I'm awake again.
私の邪魔をするなんて私がいる場所が戦場よ。
There we go.
すべてを粉々に潰すのは最高。
I can't see it, darn it.
すべてを粉々に私がいる場所が戦場よ。
On it. Ow! Jesus, my ears.
Whoa! Oh, come that behind back over here. God dang it.
旗を折るわけには。
Alright, that was my first
戦い
death.
はまだ終わってないのに。あがいてみせて。私がいる場所が戦場よ。沈め海の底に。
Oh, shoot. So wait, there's like a part 2 to this fight? Oh, there's a part 2 to this fight. Oh, for me. Where is she? Where is she? Watch out! I said watch out for a reason. Can't read and fight at the same time. Here she comes. Dodge!
あがいてみせてゴミくず。私がいる場所が戦場よ。
Gotcha! Where should I go if it's not turbulent? Where's she going? 3, 2, 1. You know what? Let's just stop. Let her fly. Hey! Dang, now it's kind of hard to hit her. She's gonna swim around. She's gonna stop. Oh, jeez, that was stupid. Got it. Really feel like I'm fighting Ursula here. This is not fun.
海底に埋もれてしまえ。
3, 2, 1. Oh, shit! I could not time that. Hey!
すべてを粉々に潰すのは最高だわ。
That's why I hate this fight.
すべてを粉々に潰すのは最高だわ。
God, that was horrible. I forgot you're supposed to block that freaking red flash.
The twin blades in the back of her spear clash with each other, creating an ear-piercing ring.
The air seems to be humming as well. Invisible ripples extend onwards in the rain every time the blades meet. Taking advantage of a gap in Lamia's defense. Oof. Vera's spear strikes at Lamia, piercing a raindrop that is about to hit the butterfly in her chest. Right before the spearhead connects, a large wave hits them from the side. The excessive ray it obstructs Vera's aim, and the spear only grazed Lamia's arm. Still, Vera forced is strong enough to leave behind a gaping wound, revealing the metal bones underneath Lamia's artificial skin. Lamia cries in pain. She backs away with a hand covering the wound, her eyes filled with anger and fear. She cannot defeat the construct before her. She is in her element, surrounded by this turbulent ocean, and yet she still cannot defeat the red-haired woman. This is something this red-haired woman has that Lamia does not. Lamia once saw the same kind of spark
from someone else, but that someone was long lost within the reborn city. Vera shakes off the water on the flag before readjusting her stance and charges at Lamia again. Impossible! Impossible! Stay away! Stay away! Lamia looks like she has seen a ghost, scared again and all. She keeps backing up. Another wave hits the platform. As if she is trying to escape, Lamia turns away from where the spirit is coming from and jumps into the ocean.
Get back here, coward!
Yeah, grief.
Finally! I read it faster, now hush!
The city is about to sink, and this is when the storm stops. You look out, and the city is gone. The horizon reverts to a flat plain. The top of the 6 spires, now tiny dots, barely noticeable, and when the tallest main city is fully submerged, save for the roof of the observatory. The wind howls and the waves rumble. With one hand on her banner spear, Vera half kneels, half sits on the floor. She was going to overpower Lamia and subdue her, whatever it took to drag her back to the control panel, so she can force her to disable the submerges command. But Lamia still ran away in the end.
God dang it!
All Vera feels now is tiredness and frustration.
I feel you.
How strange. She was willing to go this far, she thinks to herself. Uncharacteristically, she does not have an answer immediately. This is very unlike her. She has not been this apprehensive for a long time. She has protected her target and retrieved the object. She did not need to spend the extra effort in this place, and yet, what is done is done. She is too proud to need an explanation for her actions. A conqueror does not justify herself. Everything is instinctual. Suddenly, the loud whirring sound of engines appears in the distant sky. Struggling, Vera looks up and finds a tiny black dot approaching. A transport craft, but not one of Khurano's. Oh, thank God. It is a Babylonian transport craft with the logo of Grey Raven on its wings.
This is so damn late.
Not too late in my opinion. Another quake from underneath her feet. Just like the first time when the city starts sinking, this is also earth-shattering.
Reunion!
God dang it, man.
Oh, it's coming out of the sea. Okay, yeah, those slugging the lances, and oh God, it's getting bigger.
Before Vera can react, before she can even register what is happening, the city began to rise at a high speed, covered in water. It bathes in the reflection of the sunlight. For a second, it no longer is a graveyard. The ocean has cleansed it of its malady? What? Malady? Underneath the sun now stands a lighthouse of human civilization from eons past. Vera closes her eyes. She recalls a way to measure time she once heard. The universe is, and I'm not reading all of that, you guys can read this yourself. And that last night, which is, I'm not reading all that either. It takes 60 seconds from humans understanding the seasons by observing the stars to the first astronaut planting his flag on the moon. In humankind, current obstacle, the punishing virus. is but a blip in the grand scheme of things. Showered in the sunlight, Vera walks up, her eyes open wide, looking directly at the sun. She can almost see the woman's figure against the glare of the sun. She reaches out a hand. She can almost touch it. The world a second in the future. Like the astronaut in Apollo 11, Vera plants her back her spear by her side. It is an act of ancient, primal instinct, claiming her territory. When their first ship entered orbit, they declared Earth theirs. When their flag was planted on the moon, they declared moon's there. Human will not stop conquering. Centuries after humans conquered the moon, built from Babylonia, they have conquered Earth again. And you don't conquer a lot of okay. This would have been a perfect moment for the Raise the Earth flag song. One more thing. This is just my view and some guesses. I don't want to leave it in this recording at first. But a good, educated guess is no less valuable than a clear conclusion. Unfortunately, I don't have time to prove its validity. So I'll leave it to you, Siguro Samaro. Maybe this will help your work. I've been thinking about the logic behind the punishing virus appearance. I doubt the zero-point energy itself could create the virus. There are no laws of physics that support this emergence. There is a logic to every species and their place in the natural order. Okay, we understand that. What about the punishing virus? What role does it play in this order? As far as we can tell, the zero-point energy is a crucial condition for the punishing virus' existence. But personally, I prefer the theory that zero-point energy opened a pathway instead of creating the virus. The zero-point reactor is a product of extremely complicated advanced physics and mathematics. On the other hand, the more advanced the technology is, the more susceptible it is to the punishing virus. That is to say, a primitive civilization wouldn't have a chance to encounter it. The punishing virus wouldn't have crawled out of a furnace or a steam engine. Even if they did encounter it, as long as there are no electricity or digital devices, the punishing virus wouldn't have made a dent. The logical conclusion is obvious. The punishing virus targets highly advanced civilizations. It grows in a civilization like a parasite to keep it in check. And if the civilization is too sick to heal, and it dies. That's right, an old cliche. The great filtering of civilization. Oh god, not this again. I don't have any proof, obviously. I haven't observed any civilization that were hit by the punishing virus. Our only sample is humankind. But maybe you'll have the chance to go further. So jot down these guesses in your notes. I'll be very happy if it inspires you somehow. Shadow falls. The night is long, and the dawn will come. Go see the dawn for us. Finally. If everything we've done was wrong, then I think our only mistake is our own weakness. Living things reproduce, civilization expands. Since a monkey climbs down the tree 2 million years ago, humankind has been climbing up the food chain. We climb with our hands and teeth at first. Then it was fire and spear, steam engine, combustion engine, generators, computers. We were the top on Earth's food chain, so we started reaching for the stars. We take skin and flesh from animals, and we take resources from nature. We take energy from the sun, the wind, the tides. We take and we take, our hunger boundless, just to feed our civilization. I'm pretty sure that's like with any freaking species, but okay? To go further, we built Babylonia. But traveling across galaxies require a power source greater than everything that has kick-started an industrial revolution in the past. So we try to surpass the sun and control zero-point energy. It might seem that everything is destroyed now because of it, but we will not bowman our involvement. We only regret that we have not completely conquered it. This will be my last journal entry to the seeker of tomorrow. March on. Do not look back. Do not stop. Do not regret. March on. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age to burn and rave at close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. The last part of the journal, lustrous. And that, my dear friends, is all we're going to be doing today, because, yeah, this is going to be my last video for Punishing Gray Raven. I just want to give you guys my honest reaction to this chapter that I have gotten to, and right now even more chapters have come out. So I hope you guys enjoy the little sneak peek into one of the chapters. I'm pretty sure you might have saw a lot of spoilers from the CN server, but this one here is from the EN server. So if you're interested in the game, again, this is Punishing Gray Raven, and this is Dr. Leah signing out. Peace.